All right, so in this screencast, we take a look at improper integrals, but not improper integrals where the domain goes to infinity, but improper integrals where like you have some function and maybe you're considering it from 0 to a, and the function itself goes to infinity. We're looking at things like this today. So if I may, let's find the integral from 0 to 9 of 1 over radical x dx. So what does that mean? Well, here's the curve 1 over radical x. Here's 9. Here's 0. This area, well, it's hard to describe because the function goes to infinity as x approaches 0 from the right. So how do we handle that? Well, we handle that by picking some point A between 0 and 9, figuring out what this area is, and then we push A to the limits. We push it to the limit. In other words, we take the integral from A to 9 and then take a limit as a approaches 0 from the right. Well, what's that? Well, the antiderivative of x to the negative 1/2 is 2x to the positive 1/2, evaluated between a and 9. Substitute 9, substitute a, and then we decide what happens as a approaches 0 from the right. Well, as a approaches 0 from the right, this gets closer and closer to 0. This gets closer and closer to 6 minus 0. That's 6. That's 6. So this unbounded area on this, I'm sorry, this area whose boundary curve is unbounded is finite. But fundamental law of YouTube examples, this one won't be. So let's take this area. This is 1 over x. This is 1. So we're looking for this area. We're going to pick some value a between 0 and 1. We're going to figure out what this integral is, and then we're going to take the limit as a gets pushed toward 0 from the right. Well, what's that? Well, the antiderivative of 1 over x is ln of x from a to 1. Don't need absolute values because both of those are positive. So we substitute the 1, we substitute the a. And then we think about what happens to this thing as a gets closer and closer to 0 from the right. Well, the natural log function as a gets closer and closer to 0 from the right goes toward negative infinity. So negative infinity, this area gets infinitely large. This integral diverges because it does not approach a number as a approaches 0 from the right. You may want to practice, and if you want to practice, you want to find the integral from 0 to 4 of 1 over x squared dx. In a moment, I'll tell you what that answer is in case you wanted to pause. That integral diverges. You may want to check that with your OYO work. All right, hope it's helpful. See you